Help us understand the global impacts of a U.S.-China trade war. I want to bring in Victor Shih. He is the director of the University of California at San Diego's 21st Century China Center, where he studies Chinese fiscal policies and politics. And he joins us now from Seattle. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, Victor, China implemented 125% duties on U.S. goods. That starts tomorrow. With neither the U.S. or China really showing any signs of backing down, what's going to happen?
So I think it's going to be a lot of harm is going to be done to economic actors in both countries, consumers, especially those in the United States, because, of course, the U.S. imports a lot more from China than the other way around. Consumers in the United States will have to pay higher prices on a wide range of manufactured goods, from kitchenware all the way to car parts. And it's going to boost inflation at a time when inflation already is something that people complain about in the U.S. And of course, with China imposing tariffs, grain prices, soybean prices are going to get significantly higher in China. And then the other kind of harm is that the sort of harm to industrial actors like factories. A lot of U.S. factories would import parts from China to make finished goods for the U.S. market. The cost basis for these companies are going to go higher, significantly higher. Even if they are able to switch over to producers in other countries, there are now additional tariffs on these other countries. So even if it's not, the sort of spectacularly high levels that we saw earlier in the week, there will still be at least 10% tariff on goods made in any other country. So that's going to be very damaging to those factory owners. And of course, factory owners in China are going to suffer quite a bit from fewer orders from the U.S.
Victor, I want to ask about those prices that we keep hearing. The prices the consumers paying are going to be going up. So assuming that somebody who's importing can't move to import from another country, they continue to import from China, at what point, how much longer do you think it is until the U.S. consumer sees that price go up?
I think they're seeing that already.
Yeah.
And basically, basically everyone I know and myself went out to buy a car over the weekend. And basically cars that are still priced at the pre-tariff levels are being sold out, and the new cars that are sold in the U.S. And of course, this has very little to do with U.S. and China because we don't buy hardly any cars from China. But in general, prices are going up. Certainly for kitchenware, for construction material, even for toys and shoes and textile, those prices are going to go up soon. I think the sticker shock is going to come within weeks, I would say.
Yeah, the car issue, I think, probably deals more with Canada and the United States trade and tariffs than it does China. But China, that is such a huge trade relationship. I don't know how quickly you can answer this. I don't have a lot of time. But do you think either side is going to blink here, or where do you think this goes?
So I can mainly comment on the Chinese side because I've been studying China's reaction to the first round of tariffs from the United States back in 2018. Basically, China has been preparing for this day for 6 years. And the Chinese government has been encouraging Chinese companies to diversify the location of production. So Chinese companies like BYD has set up factories around the world, including in Europe, but also in Southeast Asia and in Central America. And so through diversifying the location of production, the impact of the China-focused tariff, which is what we're seeing today, is going to be reduced. Even though, of course, a lot of the smaller companies, they didn't have the ability to diversify where they were located, they're going to be hit pretty hard. But nonetheless, this diversification has given confidence to the Chinese government to enter into a sort of staring contest with the U.S. leadership. So, of course, on the U.S. side, there's some calculation. Obviously, there was recognition that imposing high tariff rates on all the countries around the world is really not a smart policy. Now there's a 90-day delay with everyone else, but just a more focused China strategy. But that still is going to lead to higher prices in the U.S., political pressure in the U.S. So I think, I would say generally speaking, because China is not a democracy, they have a greater ability to withstand political pressure than U.S. politicians.
Sure. Yeah. So all eyes right now on this U.S.-China, let's call it a standoff. And right now, at least for the moment, no one blinking. That's the director of the University of California at San Diego's 21st Century China Center, Victor Shih, joining us from Seattle. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.